distinguished guests with us today. First, I would like to ask Dr. Carolyn Getz to stand so we may recognize her as the chair of the School of Nursing. Next, would the Dean of our College of Health and Human Services, Dr. Fred Baldini, please stand for our Now will the faculty and staff of the School of Nursing please stand and be recognized. Of course, these graduates did not achieve their goals single-handedly. Each of you in the audience provided support in a multitude of ways, making them an occasional dinner, listening to their stories. I'm sure there were a lot. Watching them children, and especially by listening, supporting, and encouraging them every step of the way. With the audience of family, loved ones, mentors, preceptors, please stand for recognition from our graduates. Graduates, each of you has spent many years pursuing your passion towards this challenging career, bringing you from pre-nursing student to almost registered nurse. You all have worked very hard to be here today. You have attended numerous classes, endured sleepless nights, studying, or simply awake wondering what the next clinical day will bring. You have answered thousands of NCLEX-style questions, participated in group learning projects, advocated for our local community, and in our local hospitals, faced patient crises head-on and delivered therapeutic and extraordinary care to the individuals and families. As a member of your faculty, I've witnessed your dedication to the profession and the clients you serve. Well done. Now let's start the program with Katie Bruner Fenton. She's our class's chosen student speaker, and the students describe Katie as very fun, always welcoming, ready to take care of them, and bringing a light to their class. Welcome, Katie Bruner Fenton.
Dr. Getz, Jennifer Stein, Jeremy Jameson, Nancy Beers, and the rest of the staff in doing so much to make this a special event. I would also like to thank my classmates for asking me to be the student speaker. I was stressed out a little bit at first, having to write one more thing. And when I first started writing it, it was an APA format and third person. The nursing student is very grateful for this opportunity. I didn't last too long, so it's okay. I've had clinical rotations with many of you. I've celebrated with some of you. I've learned how to make lumpia with some of you. I had a near altercation with a mental health patient with one of you. But most importantly, I think I have laughed with all of you. I'm truly honored and humbled to be here with you today. And hopefully I will laugh with you guys at least one more time, or like 20. I've been amazed by the variety of students that we have in our class. We all came from different places coming into the nursing program. Some of us were parents before we started the program. Some of us became parents in the program. Some of us decided after our rotation in labor and delivery that we never want to be parents. But regardless of the exact route we took through this process, we are here today with our friends, our family, and each other. We have learned a lot in nursing I'm guessing I've probably forgotten more than I remember. So I'd like to apologize right now for ruining Sac State's cleaning record for passing NCLEX on the first try. Yes, denied. There have been a lot of terms and phrases that were completely foreign to me. Some things I thought meant something else completely. I thought an In-N-Out was just a fast food restaurant. I thought a Mickey button was something you bought at Disneyland. I thought go lightly meant to tiptoe around the house when you were sleeping, and trust me, that is not what go lightly is. I thought an ABG was what some dumb kid called the alphabet. Anyways, the list could go on and on. Ann Stoltz was the department chair at our orientation those 2 years ago. She talked about how we were all spread out in the auditorium with spaces between each other in the seats, but that she knew at the end of this journey, we would all be close to each other and create some lifelong bonds going through the process of nursing school together. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I remember looking around the room thinking, what the heck is she talking about? Sure, I might make a friend or two, but there's no way we're all going to be closer with each other. Well, you're not going to hear me say this very often, and just ask my husband, Scott, but I was wrong. Ooh, my hands are shaking. So, first I'd like to, or next I'd like to first, I'm starting over. Next, I would like to talk about some memories of our faculty, and this isn't everybody, these are just a few that stuck out in my head. Dr. Wall at 8 months pregnant at orientation, showing us how to make sure our scrub pants fit us properly, and advising us on what colored underwear we should be wearing. Dr. Van and her poems and limericks to help us remember meds, and how she was always telling us about the stuff we were just born knowing. And I didn't know what she meant until like last week. Dr. Brady's advice of if you put a patient in restraints, get an ABG, and also her focus on exquisite oral care. Dr. Kelly's stress of treating the patient, not the monitor, and I only did that once where I looked at the monitor. And I liked her use of filling buckets to explain fluid volume. If it's too low, fill the bucket. Dr. Michael Flynn's, this is not a problem, it is an opportunity. And Dr. Parsh working with us on ATI test questions and saying like, oh, doesn't A sound nice? But no. I don't know about you guys, but every time I take an ATI test, I hear Dr. Parsh in my head, and let me tell you, in my mind, she talks like a truck driver. And now I have a few memories of our time together. In gerontology class, at the last day of the semester, Stephanie's Grandpa Gilbert telling stories about fighting the scrapper and his nickname in the military is Shag Nasty. I heard a rumor that Jen was in the room during his labor and delivery rotation while a baby was being born under the blankets. Recognizing each other literally from across the parking lot because no one else on the planet would be caught dead in those white pants. How Jeremy said like 2 weeks before the semester ended, it's not overachieving, it's just getting bleep done so I can graduate. How amazingly we helped and supported each other, shared knowledge, information, even when we were applying for jobs. Linda offered to actually turn in my application to UC Davis. And I have a personal memory. During my first semester, I did a write-up on the wrong patient. I did the patient in bed 1 when it should have been bed 2 or something like that. And I was freaking out, and I said something like, this could be the thing to push me over the edge. And Dr. Van replied, and that's when we will pull you back up. And I think that perfectly represents our class. We have supported each other throughout this experience, and I'm certain I've made friends for life. I'm almost done. ask you guys to give our families and friends one more round of applause who are putting up with us. See, they follow instructions very well. Okay, so then I wanted a quote just to wrap this up with. And Dr. Brady, don't get mad at me because this first one I found kind of sounds like it's going against evidence-based practice, but I love it. It's from Clara Barton. I have an almost complete disregard of precedent and a faith in the possibility of something better. It irritates me to be told how things have always been done. I defy the tyranny of precedent. I go for anything new that might improve the past. Love that. And then this one's a little more appropriate. From John Quincy Adams. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. I am truly inspired by all of you. It's been an amazing ride, and I can't wait to work next to you at the bedside. Congratulations to the class of fall 2011. Thank you.